Oh man, so Getoutplayed using his last deck, which is a Zoo deck, against the Rogue. So CMAC doesn't decide to actually change his deck and try another one. I usually favor just changing decks just because it doesn't tilt me too much, but definitely CMAC is determined to actually win with this kind of deck. And I feel like Zoo is actually quite good against like Rogue most of the time, just because Rogue doesn't really have the board clear it had previously, like with the Blade Flare to move like pretty big boards. So playing the Flame Imp first, very strong one drop. We can contest most of the creatures that that CMAC can actually put out, but CMAC also has a possibility of using Backstab and also SI with the coin as well, just to have a lot of tempo play. But Getoutplayed is developing the board quite effectively, just playing Knife Juggler, just playing everything on curve, and his curve is looking pretty nice. Like, he has Dark Shower Councilman to follow up as a 3-drop, and we also see Dark Iron Door following after that as well. 3, he can potentially just coin in a Violet Teacher and then prep into Eviscerate to try to remove a certain creature. But since he daggered right here, like the Knife Juggler, it shows that CMAC might actually potentially be setting up for a Fan of Knives. He might actually use this dagger to actually dagger down the Flame Imp and then just play Violet Teacher and then prep into the Fan of Knives right now.
Pay attention, class.
Yeah, it does, so that's exactly what he is going to do at the moment. This is also going to be a pretty big like board that Getoutplayed is like pretty difficult to actually handle, so unless he tends to use his Power Overwhelming right now, which I might see him do. Like, even if he plays the Dark Iron Dwarf, it only buffs out to like 4 attacks, so he doesn't trade into the Violet Teacher completely while also keeping a minion on board. But also using the Power Overwhelming on your Dark Shower Councilman also feels a little bad too, and picking Imp Game Boss is not really what he's looking for. But I guess like he has no choice, he has to use the Power Overwhelming to remove the Violet Teacher and playing the Possessed Villager. Just because the Violet Teacher is just so strong against this matchup, generating the extra 1/1s able to trade efficiently against the Zoo is actually pretty strong.
Thank you.
Alright, awkward enough once again. So we will see CMAC trading in his 2/1/1s into the Possessed Villager just in case Power Overwhelming actually comes out. Ooh, Doomguard's actually picked up. I would actually favor playing the Doomguard here. Let's see what it discards. Unfortunately, the 2 minions, only minions in Getoutplayed's hand, so it's actually not that good because he actually needs some minions to play the following turn. So pretty much CMAC, what all he needs to do here is actually just consistently remove the board of health. So Eviscerate does come down here. So with the Deadly Poison, which can be used for board clears, so definitely keeping that not going to face. Like he doesn't really need to rush. He can just definitely just save the weapon. Ooh, Forbidden Ritual, which is a card that that Getoutplayed is definitely looking for, generating the 1/1s. It can potentially be comboed with the Power Overwhelming to deal tons of damage. So Getoutplayed is just needing minions to actually stick at the moment. It's actually a pretty low actually for like playing against a Zoo, just because they have so much burst potential. Alright, so we're gonna see the Conceal being played here. So CMAC is actually going to have a pretty big power play the following turn just because he does have the Cold Blood. It actually might cause Getoutplayed to actually hesitate to tap here just with the burst potential, but we do see Direwolf being picked up. I would expect Getoutplayed to play all his creatures and just go face here and try to push as much damage as possible. He does have Power Overwhelming hand, so it can be potentially lethal the following turn if CMAC doesn't pick up any type of AoE to actually remove this kind of board. So Auctioneer is picked up, so he can potentially draw into Fan of Knives that way, like prep into Fan of Knives. So that's one of the options that he can actually do. But Backstab is actually going to be played here with the SI, I believe, and try to clear the board as much as possible. Having a 10 health is actually quite dangerous, so CMAC doesn't actually have a choice to actually draw here. I think he might actually just want to... Ooh, so... Okay, so Gadget Auction is actually being played, so Backstab is actually going to be used on the Dire Wolf, which is the most threatening creature. And then we do... He can also use Coin right now to draw, like, to cycle through his deck even further. He can also use the Cold Blood following up if he doesn't pick up a Conceal, but actually picking a Conceal is actually quite ideal. But using the Cold Blood right now, going to face, holy, that is amazing. So yeah, so CMAC is actually going all in right now. Ooh, Defender of Argus, is this lethal? I believe it is. So Getoutplayed is gonna win VFL Weekly #1. So after a long series, after the tournament being postponed a little bit, we finally got the winner of VFL Weekly #1, and it's going to be Getoutplayed.